History remembers kings, conquerors, and revolutions, but the real forces that shaped our world. They were invisible, silent, sometimes accidental. 7 forces you never learned in school, but without them, there's no modern world. By the end of this video, you'll never see history the same way again. The invisible hands that shaped our world. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Plague That Killed Feudalism. If there was ever a plot twist in history, it was the Black Death. From 1347 to 1351, this bacterial villain swept through Europe, wiping out 30 to 60% of the population. Imagine it, entire towns gone, fields empty, streets eerily quiet except for the dreaded bell of the death cart. But the real victim? Feudalism itself. Back then, Europe was a patchwork of castles and peasants, all locked in a rigid hierarchy. But with workers suddenly vanishing, surviving laborers weren't so eager to keep toiling for scraps. Now they could demand actual wages. The old order buckled, peasants rose up, lords lost power, and the whole social pyramid started to wobble. Feudalism, as it had ruled Europe for centuries, was finished. Sometimes it just takes a plague. Quick poll. Could a pandemic today end capitalism? Thumbs up for yes, thumbs down for no. Comment your best hot take below. Maybe you'll show up in next week's roundup. Chapter 2. The Volcano That Starved the World. 1815, deep beneath the lush forest of Sumbawa Island, Indonesia, Mount Tambora was about to blow, and when it erupted, it set off the loudest bang in recorded history. So much ash soared into the atmosphere, the sun just disappeared for a year. Across the northern hemisphere, 1816 became the year without a summer. Snow fell in June, crops froze in August. Famine. In the United States, farmers moved west in search of anything resembling a growing season. Artisans struggled, and Europe's elite huddled inside. One of them, a woman named Mary Shelley, passed her time writing a terrifying story, Frankenstein, all thanks to a volcano on the other side of the world. So, what would you do in a year without summer? Share your best end-of-the-world survival tips in the comments. Bonus points if they involve coffee or creative recipes for rats. Chapter 3. Columbus's Big Mistake. Christopher Columbus is hailed as the man who discovered the New World. But let's set the record straight. The man couldn't do math. Literally. His calculations convinced him that the globe was smaller than everyone thought, and India was just a short sailing trip to the west. When he hit the Bahamas, he thought, yep, this is Asia. Gold, spices, silk, or, just a lot of palm trees and curious strangers. Columbus stubbornly insisted he'd reached India, and maps would be a game of telephone for centuries. So next time your navigation app gets you lost, remember, you're following in Columbus's footsteps. Sometimes a wrong turn changes the world. Like if you've ever sworn you were on the right street, only to end up somewhere unforgettable or regrettable. Chapter 4. The Coffee That Fueled Revolutions. Long before double shots and pumpkin spice, coffee houses were the social lightning rods of their day. Step into a smoky London coffee house in the 1700s, and you'd find philosophers, politicians, and a few spies debating the fate of nations over bitter cups. Democracy, science, satire, schemes to overthrow the king, all percolated at cafe tables. It's no exaggeration to say the Enlightenment, those big ideas about freedom and equality, were brewed with caffeine. Today, coffee houses might have morphed into timelines and Discord servers, but the spirit's the same. Is Twitter the modern revolution coffee house? Bring your hottest debate to the comments. Chapter 5. Barbed Wire, the invention that tamed the West. You've seen cowboy movies, wild herds, endless plains. But in the 1870s, something twisted that fantasy into fenced-off reality: barbed wire. Before it, the American West was open. Cattle drove for hundreds of miles, and ranchers saw no boundaries. But Joseph Glidden's patent in 1874 changed everything. Cheap, easy to install, and, ouch, effective, barbed wire crisscrossed the open range. Farmers grabbed land, cattlemen raged, and soon the Wild West was a memory. Even the toughest cowboy can't outstubborn a 6-foot fence. Sometimes it's not guns or gold, it's a strand of wire. Love these weird history twists? Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next plot twist. Chapter 6. The Mold That Saved Millions. Fast forward to 1928. A Scottish scientist, Alexander Fleming, was a bit disorganized. He left his petri dishes stacked and unwashed before a summer holiday. When he returned, he spotted a fuzzy blue-green mold had killed the bacteria around it. Penicillin, the first true antibiotic, and the accidental discovery that would save more lives than every general, king, or president combined. By World War II, infections that once meant certain death could be vanquished with a pill. Remember, next time someone tells you to clean your room, sometimes messes change the world. Which saved more lives, penicillin or vaccines? Cast your vote in the comments and defend your pick. Germs are tough, but the comment section is tougher. Invisible forces aren't history's exception, they're its engine. Today, artificial intelligence, climate change, and unseen algorithms are steering your world right now. The next great revolution might not ride in on a horse, but seep quietly in on a silicone chip or a spore of something unexpected. So what hidden force should we cover next? Leave your wildest idea below, because your comment just might decide history's next big reveal. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep your eyes open. The invisible hands are still at work.